Still paying rent abroad habang iniisip mo, sayang, dapat siguro bumibili na lang ako sa Pilipinas? Sounds responsible, sounds mature, sounds like the right move. But this is what isn't often said in property content. Hindi porket may pambili ka, tagan, ibig sabihin buy na agad ang smartest move. Because for OFWs, the real calculation is not just rent versus amortization. It's also absentee costs, forex risk, vacancy risk, furnishing costs, turnover timing, and whether your chosen property can actually behave the way you think it will.
So in this episode, gagawa tayo ng OFW rent vs buy calculator the way most property content still doesn't.
Ito ang unang mali na ginagawa ng maraming OFW.
They compare monthly rent abroad versus monthly amortization in the Philippines. As if magkalaban sila directly.
Hindi.
They do different jobs. Your rent abroad helps you stay near work. It protects your income source. It supports your career mobility. In short, your rent abroad is part of your earning machine. Samantalang yung property sa Pilipinas, that asset is supposed to do one of these three things. Prepare your future home base, produce income, or preserve and grow capital over time. So kapag kinumpare mo sila ng parang parehong household expense lang, if bibili ako sa Pilipinas, mas matalino ba ang galaw ng pera ko after all hidden costs and risks? That is a very different conversation. At minsan, the money wasted on rent abroad is actually what allows you to earn bigger, save better, and avoid a bad property decision. So eto ang Bahay Lab Calculator. Very simple. 5 layers lang, pero ito ang layers na kadalasang hindi pinapansin. Layer 1, purpose.
Why are you buying? For end use? For rental income? For retirement? For family use? For capital preservation? Because if hindi malinaw ang purpose, lahat ng numbers mo magiging fake confidence lang. Layer 2, entry cost, hindi lang reservation at down payment. Kasama dito, closing fees, taxes, move-in charges, furnishing appliance setup, basic styling, internet or utility activation, and sometimes fit-out adjustment. Ito ang madalas nakakaligtaan ng OFWs. If wala ka sa Pilipinas, who will handle key turnover, cleaning, repairs, guest coordination, renter issues, document follow-ups, association concerns, emergency maintenance?
The layer 4, forex risk. If income mo is in real, dirham, dollar, or another currency, exchange movement matters.
And if your payment obligations are peso-based, currency timing can affect your real cost.
Layer 5,
The logic, not hopeful rent, not Facebook fantasy rent, not sabi ng ahente malakas daw, realistic rent, realistic occupancy, realistic deductions.
When these 5 are incomplete, what you have is not a calculator, just wishful thinking.
Let's talk about absentee cost. Ito ang tahimik na budget killer.
Kasi kapag nasa abroad ka, every problem becomes more expensive. Not always because the repair itself is huge, but because distance removes convenience. Halimbawa, may tumagas na maliit sa ilalim ng sink. Kung nandito ka, baka one day maayos mo agad through a plumber. Kung OFW ka, may messages, may delays, may coordination, may tao kang kakausapin, may chance na lumaki ang issue bago maayos. That is absentee friction. Now imagine that across
appliance replacement, repainting, furnishing wear, deep cleaning, unit inspection, payment follow-up, and vacancy preparation.
That's why some properties look affordable on paper, pero emotionally and operationally, nakakapagod dalhin. And this matters a lot for rental properties. Because a rental asset is not just a box you own. It is a small business system. And if the system depends on your daily supervision, mahina siya for an absentee owner. Your condo is not passive income if it needs your constant rescue. Passive looking does not always mean passive in real life. Exactly. Gross rent is not your income.
Exactly.
Net, after friction, that's where truth starts.
Now let's go to the part that many people casually mention but rarely explain well. Forex risk. If you're earning abroad, your brain sometimes
Feels safe because you're earning in a stronger currency. And yes, that can help.
Yeah.
But it can also create false comfort because your buying decisions in the Philippines is still affected by exchange rate movement, transfer timing, cash flow stability, and how much of your monthly budget gets locked into peso obligations. If humina ang conversion advantage mo kahit temporarily, or if other obligations abroad increase, your so-called easy amortization can suddenly feel tighter. This is why smart OFWs do not just ask, kaya ko bang bayaran ngayon? They ask,
Kaya ko ba ito even if currency advantage softens, work situation changes, or I need buffer? Because true affordability is not measured on your best month.
It is measured on your more stressful months. Buying based only on your strongest months is like crossing a river while assuming the water will always stay low.
That's not strategy. That's optimism wearing formal clothes. And many OFWs only realize that after the commitment is already heavy. For context, I'm a referral agent. If you want to allocate your money into a property in UAE and in the Philippines, I can refer you to the property consultant for more options.
Now let's go to rental logic. Kasi dito, madalas nasisira ang excitement. Maraming content ang nagsasabi, malakas ang rent.
Good for Airbnb, okay for passive income. But here's the adult question, malakas according to what assumptions? Because rental logic should include actual area demand, competition in the same zone, seasonality, furnishing quality, management consistency, guest or tenant turnover, dues wear and tear, and your realistic occupancy. Not your fantasy occupancy, your realistic occupancy. Fantasy math says 40,000 rent. Wow! Real math asks, is that every month, gross or net? Long-term or short stay, with management cost or without, furnished or bare, how many months vacant, what happens when repairs come in. That is why some good investment units look exciting in screenshots but ordinary in real life. And that's okay, as long as you entered with honest expectations. The goal is not to force every property to beat some viral ROI fantasy. The goal is to know whether the asset still works for your purpose even when performance is just decent, not magical.
That one line can save a lot of OFWs from panic buying. Now here's the part that some people don't like hearing. There are seasons where continuing to rent abroad is actually the smarter move.
Yes.
Really.
Renting abroad is smarter when your job situation is still unstable, your long-term country plan is unclear, your emergency fund is not yet strong, your property purpose is vague, your chosen project depends too much on ideal rental performance, or your family is pressuring you emotionally, like more than the numbers are supporting you. Because again, rent abroad supports your earning machine.
Yeah.
And protecting your earning machine is not financial failure, it is discipline.
Yeah.
Some people buy because they want proof that their years abroad are becoming something. That feeling is understandable, but emotional relief is not the same as good asset behavior. If buying now creates more fragility than strength, then waiting is not laziness. By the way, I'm a referral agent. If you want to check properties in the Philippines, I can refer you directly to professionals and to check for options. OFW and expats buyers, you are welcome. Condo units in Pampanga and Metro Manila, or a townhomes in Batangas or Cavite, and for OFWs in UAE, you can visit sa opisina sa Abu Dhabi. Now, of course, there are also seasons where buying in the Philippines makes perfect sense. It makes sense when you have strong holding power, your emergency reserves are intact, your purpose is clear, your project fits your real life, your expectations are not inflated into a location you truly understand, or you're choosing a project that matches your risk tolerance and distance reality. For some OFWs, that can be a well-located condo, and the property still makes sense even without perfect income. This is especially true if you already know your future home base or you want to place capital. For others, that can be a township-style property. For others, a horizontal home for future family use. The point is, buying makes sense when the asset serves a clear role in your life and finances. Not when it merely looks like a milestone. That's the cleaner way to think. If you like this kind of breakdown, no fake urgency, no pressure language, no buy now before it's too late energy, follow and subscribe to Bahay Lab. Because the goal here is not to excite you to buy, it's to help you avoid expensive confusion. I'm a referral agent. If you want to test your options, comment down below. So before ka mag-send ng money to any project, ask these 5 questions. 1. What exactly is this property supposed to do for me? 2. Can I afford not just the purchase but the hidden setup and absentee costs? 3. If exchange rates move against me for a while, will this still feel manageable? If your answers are clean, then maybe buying is right. If your answers are shaky, that doesn't mean never. It may simply mean not yet, not this one, or not this structure.
Sometimes, that mindset alone protects more wealth than rushing into the wrong unit.
So here's the real takeaway. For OFWs, the rent versus buy question is not a morality test. The real question is, after absentee costs, forex risk, and honest rental logic, which move gives you more strength, more flexibility, and less regret? That is the calculator that matters. And if you're already in the decision stage and gusto mo ng help sorting which type of property setup fits your situation, I work remotely as a referral agent and I can help connect you to the right developer side options based on your use case.
No pressure, no hard sell, jeans. And for OFW in UAE, we have an office in Abu Dhabi. You can visit anytime and check the Philippine property options and test if those fits you.
Comment FILTR if you want the next episode, the OFW property decision checklist for choosing between condo, township, or house and lot in 2026.